All right, everybody. Today, I am so excited to feature our ambassador, Fidel Forde. And I have had the honor of, I've known Fidel now for 5 or 6 years. And my goodness, this man literally lights up a room, lights up the world with his spark. And I'm so honored that you are a part of this Body, Mind, Living experience. And I'm just curious, what does Body, Mind, Living mean for you?
Yeah. Let me just first start off by saying, body mind living is something that each person really gets the opportunity to define for themselves, and to get more clear as they start on the journey of body mind living. But body mind living for me is this place of wholeness and oneness. It's really this place of accepting all of who you are. And that's everything from the thoughts that you have, the beliefs, with this curiosity of just owning your whole mind, but also owning your body and owning what you feel. And knowing that what is in you is greater than everything that is around you. And this place of coming into self, to finding the clarity, to finding the questions, and being able to feel your way forward. Because one of the things I know is that when we base our life based upon things that are around us, things around us always change. But what's in us, like the very essence of who we are, is really the compass. And when we are living in a place that is body, mind, and just in this place that is in alignment and ownership of that, we literally get to take a step forward and live our life in a way that really supports our alignment and supports our goals, our dreams, and the desires of our heart. So it's for me, it's literally this compass, this fierce surrender, personal responsibility, ownership over just all of what's going on in here, and using here as that guide to move forward.
Yes. And it's, as you're talking, I love that idea of like, so often we look to the world around us, but the world around us is always changing. And just that power of that alignment of knowing yourself, owning yourself. And you said something interesting about surrender. And I'm curious, just how has surrender played a role in this? Because that is a powerful word. And I think that the way that you are saying it and expressing it, it might be different than what a lot of people are hearing it as. Because I think I used to think surrender was like giving up. And I don't think that's what you're saying here. I would love to know, like, how does that surrender play a factor? What is that for you? And how does that help you in your alignment?
Yeah. For me, surrender is this process of allowing. It's this. So surrender is receiving. When you surrender, you open yourself up to receive something. And there is a grace and empowerment that comes when you allow, when you go from trying to control, and then you allow, and you come into this place of really just receiving. But for me, this place of surrender, I think, is part of this process to freedom, to be honest with you. And it's like through this process of vulnerability and surrender, it's like this doorway to freedom. Yeah. And then it's like through that surrender, through that releasing, through that allowing, and it's that receiving. There's something that happens there as you just move forward in life. You're shifting from trying to control, you're shifting from your doing, and then you're shifting now into this place of your being. Which I found there's this spark and there's this power that comes, and this depth from the inside when you realize I don't have to control everything around me because everything is already greater inside of me, and let me just allow.
Yeah.
And I could be.
My gosh. And if you guys can't tell, Fidel is very much about the spark, and just you live it, you breathe it. And one thing that's just coming through that I kind of want to speak to today, that I had not planned. Obviously, for the men here who are in this work, I think sometimes like we hear these words like alignment and surrender, and it can easily, I don't know if that can be a block or something for some men. And maybe this is my own bias that's coming up, and I'll just say that. But I I love hearing you talk about these things and like the boldness that comes from them, the strength that comes from them, like that masculine energy that comes through them. Can you speak to maybe the men who are on this journey, who are hearing these words like surrender and allow? And what would you want to say to them?
Yeah. There's nothing to prove.
Oh, snap.
There's nothing to prove. It's to be man enough to do nothing. It's to begin to redefine what it means to be a man and to show up. And for some reason, what's coming up for me is like help and support. You know, you don't really ask for things because you can do it. And there's this quote that I heard recently, and it's, you don't ask for help because you're weak. You ask for help to remain strong. You know, and you know, whether it's the word of surrender, maybe it's something else for you out there. It's embracing all of these aspects.
Yeah.
And embracing all of that. And that's what really makes you whole.
Yeah. And I hear it like in that wholeness and embracing all of these things and being strong enough to surrender and that to me is power, is that is strength, that is that
it's true strength.
Strength.
It's true strength. It's true courage. It takes courage to do nothing. It takes courage to feel your feelings. It takes courage to show up even when you don't feel like you're enough, but to show up anyway and just to say, here I am.
Yeah.
Here I am.
Yeah. Fidel, you are a father of 4 amazing children. Seem to be getting bigger every time I see a picture of them. And I recently saw a video of you doing a little morning motivation for your kids. So how do you take this work, this idea of living body mind? How do you share it with your kids? What are some of the things that you're telling them so that they can really feel this as well?
Laura, that's a great question. What's sparking for me first and foremost is it's not about what I can do for my kids, but who I get to be.
Oh, yeah.
And coming from that place of, all right, this is the true legacy here. They're going to remember their experiences. They're going to remember who I was through my presence. And who I was in my presence is really what's going to stick, not just the words and the things that I say or tell them to do, but my actions and how I show up. So when I think about like how do I do this, it's through the presence and showing what it's like to practice patience, showing what it's like to practice vulnerability and to show up, and the importance of doing this for myself so that my kids have a leg up or a practice of how to actually do this work, where it's a safe space to feel and experiment with all those different things and to lead by example doing that. So how do I do that? It's this process of feeling my way forward, feeling into like how they're feeling. And I'm noticing, Laura, just by me feeling my feelings, and whether it's the vulnerability or even those moments where I'm nervous or scared, I'm better able to recognize when they're feeling that same way, and I can better speak to them and parrot them or speak to the thing that's going on versus just the head knowledge of, oh, this doesn't make sense or whatever that is, and moving on with this check the box, we can now take another step forward. There's another depth to that. And there's one other thing with that too, because it's like the more we are in tune and we allow, not only do our senses grow, but the more connected we now we feel with other people.
Oh, I do.
And the more connected we feel with the world. So the whole body-mind alignment thing, it's like I feel it, and it's like right here. And because I'm tuned into this place, I can tune in to it everywhere else that's around me.
Yeah, well, and even tuned in and receptive to feeling, like the power of feeling and saying, hey, I'm feeling this. I wonder what their experience is. So like that being about it and allowing and really I don't want to say connection to your body, because that idea almost creates separation, but it is a presence with your body and what is flowing through you at any given moment, and acknowledging that and owning that for yourself, that allows you to even be in relationship with your kids and help them process that themselves.
Yeah, and one of the words that's coming up, it's trust and intuition.
Yeah.
And we all have it.
Yeah. How does your intuition? Oh, keep going.
Yeah, we all have it. And so this whole, because like you were saying, it's not so much just about paying attention to the body, but the intuition and those other underlying knowings, those gut feelings, and just trusting and learning to trust yourself, trust that process.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you know your intuition? How does that speak to you?
That is a great question. Sometimes it comes as a whisper, or it comes as a feeling, or just this knowing. But sometimes I don't even know it's actually happening. But there's there's like this lightness that comes, and it's almost as it like kind of sprouts up, and it's almost as if sometimes I'm maybe having a thought for the first time or a knowing for the first time, and there's nothing else around that would have provoked it to happen. It's just know this thing, and it just anchors down, and there's so much clarity and a like feeling.
Yes, it's like that resonant. It's so funny when I feel like everybody goes like this when they talk about their intuition, and I got this image because I know that spark image is so bad. It's almost like the spark just floats up, and then it like the oxygen and the breath and the heart comes in, and it starts to fan, and it I just had this an ember just coming up is what I saw there. Amazing. And I think that's such a great question. Again, just that idea of knowing these sensations and tuning into them and starting your body talks to you in your own way, and start to learn that language of your body. And it really is a powerful tool in so many areas of your life. Yeah. And I feel by the way, I'm just going to predict this here live, well, not live with us talking, but to this audience. I just can't wait for the Fidel Forde TV show. Y'all see it. I see this man, Tony Robbins style. It's just going to happen. I'm going to be in the front row whenever it does. And, Fidel, just to end, I'm curious, for people who might be new to this work, who are just kind of body, mind, that's interesting. What insights or advice might you offer them in their journey?
Yeah, I would say to remain curious. Because even right now, as you're watching this, you're feeling something, even if you can't put words to it. I would say be curious about what it is that you just are feeling coming up to, and how is it feeling? Does it feel interesting? Is there something inside where you kind of want to just to say yes if you feel like you're leaning in a little bit more? What I would say is just continue to show up with that curiosity and to take a step and is to ask the question for yourself. Hey, what is this? And you will get that answer. So just to continue to show up and just to say yes and see what might be possible for you as you just take those baby micro steps into the possibilities of what it looks like to be body, mind. After all, we're talking about being connected, right? Yeah. So stay connected with what you're hearing, what feels right, what feels light, and you'll be able to uncover some of this for yourself.
Man. So amazing. Thank you so much, Fidel. And make sure to go check out his article, go follow him, just because he will give you a spark of love and compassion and motivation every single day. So I so appreciate you. All right, bye. This is Body, Mind, Living with Laura Wieck. Thanks for watching.